Hi all, this is part 3 of the fuzzy wrap, the Mossy Bean. I'm not going to crochet into it here because I think it's enough yarn ends to be hidden in that. It's plenty. So I'm still using the 6mm hook. I know that this yarn is supposed to be 8mm hook, but it seems to be working pretty good, and I kind of like the I don't know, the closeness of it. So start anywhere, put your hook through, leave yourself at least a 6-inch tail so you have 3 inches to hide and 3 inches to shave off. You just do a little slip knot and then do a single crochet, and I'm doing the moss stitch, so that's a chain. After that you skip and you go into the next stitch, chain, skip into the next, chain, skip, chain, skip, chain, skip. And one thing that's nice about the moss stitch, it's very forgiving for if you have the edges that aren't exactly perfectly straight because of, you know, the differences in yarn weight or hook size, or just how you did your foundation edging, the edge that you did with the cotton yarn. This will help the moss stitch or the granite stitch or the linen stitch. It's very forgiving, and it's great with fuzzy yarn like this. It's setting you up to succeed, because chenille can be hard sometimes to see your stitches. So go ahead and do as many rows as you like of the moss stitch. I really like the way it kind of looks like teeth when it's all said and done. If you keep switching between white and another color, I'm doing white and orange, it ends up kind of looking like teeth. And I think that's perfect for the pumpkin jack-o'-lantern motif. So keep doing that, and I will meet you back. Here's a corner that we did. We did a single crochet and a chain, and we're in the corner of our work. So go and do another single crochet right into the same space, and then do your chain. And then just keep finding your spaces between finding your next stitch, because you have to skip stitches, but not on the corners. Just like that. You have that space between your two single crochets. So that's how you do your corners. Okay, I'm back. So I've gone all the way around my blanket, and I did the foundation for the moss stitch, which is a single crochet, a chain, you skip, and then you do it again. So when I've come back around, I have my first stitch right here where I pulled up my slip stitch, and then I did the single crochet. So I'm going to go right there between those two and do a slip stitch. Okay, so it doesn't quite look like the rest, but it's okay. So let's go ahead and turn our work, and we go left to right like a book. you go into the space between these two stitches. So you've turned around and you've made your single crochet and your chain. Now it's so easy just to go in between your stitches and continue your moss stitch, which is a single crochet and a chain. But you're going in between you do your single crochet. That helps you bridge over the single crochet. Okay? So yeah, you just slip stitch and you turn your work and you just start crocheting into the row that you made before. And now it can't be easier because you have these spaces to crochet into. So you don't have to hunt for the tops of your stitches. So continue to do that all the way around. And you can do all of your panels, or if you're just taking a piece of fabric and adding some crochet to it. This is a very nice stitch. It's a very forgiving stitch. So if you run out of stitches, or if you have too many, you know, because you don't count your stitches when you're making this, you just wing it. At least that's what I do. And look at the difference. Look at the edge between the white and the orange. I think that's really pretty. Just very happy about how this is turning out. It's a perfect color, I think. So I'm going to keep doing this with my orange along the edge. It's going to be a very happy Halloween Ruana, or happy Halloween wrap. Oh, and it's so soft. I can't tell you how much I love these fuzzy blankets. So keep doing that, and I'll meet you back. So I'm back. I've gone around twice with the orange, and doing the moss stitch, or the granite stitch, or the linen stitch, depending on where you heard it first. So I did a stitch right here by itself, and then chain. I'm going to go in here and do a single crochet and a chain over, but I'm going to do a slip stitch, I think. Yeah, I'd rather do a slip stitch there. And then go back into that space and do a single crochet. And let's do another single crochet on top of it, stacked single crochet. So let me show you that again. This is not the best yarn to learn how to do a stacked single crochet on, just to give you a heads up. So I did my single crochet, and then you go into this leg. You skip this leg, and you go into that leg, and you go through the stitch rather than through to the back like a knit stitch. You go just through the top. It's like a Tunisian simple stitch. There you go. And then you complete it. So now you've leveled up to a double crochet. So now let's make some bean stitches, because this is the whole point of me figuring out that the bean stitch and the moss stitch work really well together, because they are easy to crochet into between bean tween. So I do have a video on how to do this bean stitch. You wrap your yarn over, and go into the space between your moss stitches. Pull up until you are level with your tops of your other stitches. Yarn over again, hold it, go down into that same stitch, the same space, then you yarn over. When you have 5 loops on your hook, pull through all those loops and then chain stitch to lock it down. Okay, and that's a really fluffy, tall stitch, and it's really cool. I think that you'll enjoy this. So look at those puffy stitches. Aren't they cool? Squishy, squishy, squishy. The moss stitch is fun too. Squishy, squishy, squishy. I'm really happy with it. I'm really happy with this. So do that all the way around if you want. You don't have to. You can do whatever you want. You could just stop at the, the very first row of the white or whatever color. You may be working on a blue blanket, for Christmas or the holidays or Hanukkah. You do you. You can do whatever you want. I'll meet you back. Okay, so now we're at the corner with the bean stitch, okay? There's the corner. There's the 2 moss stitch. So go out to this side. Chain, chain. Add that extra chain. You might want to do 2 chains, I think. It's 1, 2, 3. Okay? Now turn your work and go into the same place. Pull up this way. Okay, you've made your corner. Okay, there's your corner. Right there. It's kind of big, but it'll work. I did that because I wanted my beans not to squish together too much. I wanted them to kind of lay along the line of the other beans on their sides. So after you do this bean stitch, you do your chain stitch to lock it down, and then do 2 chains, and then do another bean stitch. So that's technically 3 chains between these 2 bean stitches. If you don't like that, you could try to do 2, but I feel like that would be too squished. And who wants to squish beans unless you like refried beans, and then that makes sense. Anyway, do your best. I'll see you. So I am coming up on the end of the bean stitch row. So I'm going to do 1 more bean stitch. Okay, that's the last one. Now this is our leveled up stacked single crochets. They always have a tendency to lean. So let's go into the top of that stitch. Actually, I'm just going to skip over it and just go into the top of the bean. There. I know it's a little squishy, but it's okay. So this is the end of the rows that I'm going to do to the edges of my my panels. So I'm going to do this on the other 3, and I will see you in the next video when we put it all together and make it into a nice wrap. So I'm just going to pull that through. And this is probably also a good opportunity at this point, when you've got all your panels separate, to treat your yarn ends as I mentioned in the row 1 with the white row of single crochets. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's recommended by Lion Brand to treat chenille yarn ends a specific way, and I go into great detail in this. It's part 2 of this series. So we are in part 3, And then the next step is to put the ruana together, or the wrap together, and it will be part 4. So I will see you then. And in the meantime, crochet your way today, because it's the only time we have. Take care, and I'll see you next time.